When you think of the most tragic characters in anime, certain names come to mind. Maybe Mise Hughes from Fullmetal Alchemist, maybe Lelouch from Code Geass. But even among those, there's one name that seems to break hearts across every fandom debate. Itachi Uchiha. To the casual observer, Itachi is a cold-blooded murderer. The man who slaughtered his entire clan, parents, relatives, even children, in a single night. The villain who betrayed his younger brother Sasuke and joined the infamous criminal organization Akatsuki. But the deeper you look, the more you realize that everything we thought we knew about him was only the surface of a much darker, much sadder truth. Because Itachi wasn't a villain. He wasn't even an anti-hero. He was a man forced to live as a villain, to die as a villain, all to protect the very people who would hate him for it. And that's why his story isn't just sad, it's soul-crushing. Itachi's tragedy begins long before the massacre. Born into the prestigious Uchiha clan, he was a genius from the moment he could walk. By age 4, he had witnessed the horrors of the Third Great Ninja War, seeing death and bloodshed firsthand. It shaped his worldview. He hated conflict, even as a child. By the time most kids were learning basic shuriken throwing, Itachi had already graduated from the Ninja Academy at age 7. He became a chunin at 10, and at just 13, he was promoted to captain of the Onbu Black Ops, the youngest ever in Konoha's history. But this came at a cost. Itachi never got to be a child. No games, no carefree friendships. His life was a series of missions, assassinations, and covert surveillance, all while carrying the crushing expectations of both his clan and his village. His best friend, Shisui Uchiha, was one of the few people who truly understood him. Together, they dreamed of bringing peace between the Uchiha and the rest of Konoha. But peace was slipping further away. The Uchiha clan, though respected for their strength, had been politically sidelined after the Nine Tails attack on the village. The elders of Konoha, especially Danzo Shimura, grew suspicious of them, believing the Uchiha could have been behind the disaster. The Uchiha, in turn, felt increasingly alienated. Eventually, whispers of a coup began to grow. The clan planned to overthrow the village leadership and take control. This impossible situation was the perfect storm for manipulation, and Danzo knew exactly how to exploit it. Shisui was perhaps the only person who could have prevented disaster. Gifted with the Koto Amatsukami, one of the most powerful genjutsu in the Naruto world, he could subtly manipulate someone's mind without them realizing it. His plan was to use it on the Uchiha leadership to stop the coup without bloodshed. But Danzo feared this power and coveted it for himself. In a shocking betrayal, Danzo ambushed Shisui, stole one of his eyes, and left him for dead. Mortally wounded and realizing he could no longer execute his plan, Shisui entrusted his remaining eye to Itachi, telling him to protect Konoha at all costs. That night, Shisui took his own life, leaving Itachi alone in his mission for peace. The loss broke him. From that point on, Itachi carried Shisui's will as his own, even if it meant staining his hands with unforgivable acts. Soon after, the elders of Konoha, led by Danzo, presented Itachi with an ultimatum. Side with your clan and risk civil war? A war that would draw in every major nation and lead to countless deaths? Or wipe out the Uchiha to prevent the coup? It was the kind of choice that destroys a soul. Itachi begged for another solution. He even approached the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, who wanted to find a peaceful way out. But Danzo made it clear, if Itachi refused, the village would attack the Uchiha and the collateral damage would be far greater. In the end, Itachi made the unthinkable choice. On a moonlit night, Itachi struck. But he did not act alone. To ensure the mission's success, he partnered with a masked man claiming to be Madara Uchiha, in reality Obito, who had his own vendetta against the clan. Together, they eliminated the Uchiha one by one. Men, women, even children. The most heartbreaking moment came when Itachi confronted his parents. Fugaku and Mikoto didn't resist. They knew what was coming. In a moment of silent acceptance, they told him they were proud of him and asked him to protect Sasuke. And so he did. He spared only his little brother, hoping Sasuke would someday grow strong enough to kill him and avenge the clan. To the world, Itachi became a traitor. To Sasuke, he became the monster who destroyed everything. And that was exactly what Itachi wanted, to bear the hatred alone so no one else would have to. After the massacre, Itachi joined the Akatsuki, partly to keep an eye on dangerous rogue ninjas, partly to keep himself close to Konoha's enemies and prevent them from targeting the village. Inside the organization, he maintained a cold, calculating persona. He partnered with Kasame Hoshigaki, a shark-like swordsman, and carried out missions that further cemented his reputation as a villain. But even within Akatsuki, he avoided unnecessary killing when possible. His role was one of silent protection, a guardian in the shadows wearing the mask of a criminal. All the while, he kept tabs on Sasuke from afar, making sure his brother was alive and growing stronger. Few fans realized Itachi had been terminally ill for years. His sickness, never explicitly named in the manga, was severe enough that he was on borrowed time during most of his appearances. He could have prolonged his life with treatment, but he refused, knowing that his death at Sasuke's hands was inevitable for his plan to succeed. In his final days, he pushed himself beyond his limits, coughing blood after battles, all to make sure he could orchestrate one last encounter with his brother. The fight between Itachi and Sasuke is one of the most iconic moments in Naruto. It's brutal, emotional, and filled with symbolism. Itachi never truly fought to kill. He fought to test Sasuke, to push him to his limits. In the end, weakened by illness and exhaustion, Itachi approached Sasuke, raised his hand, and instead of delivering a killing blow, he tapped Sasuke's forehead just as he used to when they were children. Then he collapsed smiling. Sasuke believed he had finally avenged his clan, but the truth was far more painful. After Itachi's death, the truth came to light. Tobi told Sasuke about the real reason behind the massacre, the coup, the ultimatum, the deal with Konoha's elders. Sasuke's world shattered again. The brother he had hated for years had in fact loved him more than anyone else. Every cruel word, every fight, every insult, all part of a performance meant to push Sasuke towards strength. Itachi had died without telling Sasuke the truth himself ever, perhaps because he knew it would hurt too much. Itachi's story isn't just sad because of what he lost. It's sad because of how much he gave and how little anyone ever understood until it was too late.